healthy friendships will allow you the space to adjust. It will allow you the space to change. There will be no ill will or no bad feelings. It's just like it is okay for you to do exactly what you need to do. And I'm going to be there to support you.
Welcome back to Trusting Her Journey. I'm Crystalline.
And I am Felicia.
Hey, Felicia.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you today?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay.
We're both always so excited. Like, girl, how you doing? How you
Right. Acting like we didn't text each other before or throughout the morning or the day before, like, you good? You good? You know?
Oh, well, things change like
Yeah.
in a moment and often without notice.
I agree.
Oh,
I just love how, when we don't hear from each other in a few days, and sometimes it's not even a few days, it's a day or a few hours. We're like, "Hey, you good?" Like last night
mhm.
when I text you, I'm like, "Wait, I've been texting her. She's not responding. I'm worried. Is she okay?" So that's when I'm like, "Hey, you good?"
And that was fine, but not one text came through.
I don't
Listen,
know. I think our phone is hating for real
I
because
am not upgrading my phone.
it might be time, sis.
Nope, nope,
I
nope.
know you are trying to resist it, but if you're not getting my messages, it might be time. Because I've upgraded mine now that our messages hadn't been working.
Oh, see, I just remember going to the store, buying
Hmm.
a phone, and then the phone was mine. I didn't have a monthly payment
Oh
for the
yeah.
phone.
Yeah. Girl,
Oh,
they're trying to get the coins any way that they can. So,
no.
and
Next
I think it's sad because we fall for the trap too.
time.
My phone was glitching. It was doing all of the things, and I did not want to buy a phone. Like I had the same phone for years. It was what, over 5 years, and then the phone started acting up, and I was like, "Oh goodness, I guess I have to go get this phone." And I
Hmm.
text my brother on Friday. I was like, "I want to take this phone back. I'm so mad I have to pay this much."
A lot of money for, I mean, I'm not gonna say for nothing, but I also am from an era where my friends and I, like, I could go to the wall and pick
Yeah.
up the phone and call them. I knew their numbers. I could dial
Yeah.
their numbers and call them.
Yeah.
Now it's the whole thing. I'm grateful for technology. I love
Yes.
technology.
We
Um,
also
yeah.
are at the point where it's like it can be too much. I think that's just what it is. We love it because it's useful, it helps us grow with time, but also it's like
Mhm.
it's too much. So those two truths can exist at the same they can exist at the same time.
Right. So, y'all, today we are going to kind of continue our conversation. The last couple of episodes, we've been talking about friendship. In episode 5, y'all know we talked about how friendships change as we change. And
Hmm.
then episode 6, if you haven't listened, take a listen. We talked about the hard conversations that most friends avoid. And so today we want to talk about something that's just as important to both Felicia and I, which is often part of why it takes us so long to actually start recording because we're talking about all the things as we nurture
Yeah.
our friendship, as we grow our friendship, right, Felicia?
Yes, I agree. I am excited for this. I think I'm excited for all of the conversations, but this one I feel it truly it closes the loop in terms of our friendship conversations we've had over the past few weeks. I notice and you and I have talked about this. A lot of times we only discuss the ways in which friendships end or the big adjustments that happens, the grief that comes with friendships, the ending of some friendships, but we also want to talk about the important parts of friendships when you actually have healthy friendships, healthy community that you are around, and we need to talk about it more. I don't want our conversation. I can speak more about us and this platform that we have. We don't want to end on just like, okay, things are shifting and friends don't agree with it, or they feel unsettled in your growth, or you feel unsettled in their growth. We also want to talk about what it's like to have friends that grow with you, friends that show up for you, and friends that can challenge you.
Yeah, the challenge. Yeah. I know I there's a lot of distance between me and some of my friends geographically,
Hmm.
and um, we still have deep connections.
Yes.
Sometimes, even when friendships have different challenges, or there's a disagreement, or just misunderstanding, miscommunication, not as much communication, it doesn't always have to mean the friendship is going to end. Sometimes, which is what we'll talk about today, is sometimes the opposite of that happens. Sometimes the friendship can grow deeper and it can be a lot stronger.
Yeah, because I think if we could give you all some examples of what that would look like, because some folks will say like, I've never experienced that where, I start to grow and a friend maybe was willing to grow with me or they were willing to go on this journey. So some examples of that could look like when your capacity is changing and your friend actually respects it and they can acknowledge it and share that with you, or when you are finally gaining some of that initial confidence to say no to something.
Right.
um and it does not end in a collapse of a relationship. It's just like, okay, friend, I'm proud of you for finally saying no or standing up for yourself. Or,
Mhm.
as I mentioned before, when your friends challenge you instead of always agreeing with you, even when you know that you're wrong, but you're looking for your friends to cheer that kind of behavior on.
My friends and I, we would cheer on the shenanigans, that happen within our marriages. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna send a text
Yeah.
about the foolishness that's going on with these men.
Yeah.
The things that only you can share with your girlfriends. And I'll say this as a disclaimer, and I said this to my clients too. Make sure you talking trash about your husband to a real friend.
Yeah, or anyone. It
Or
doesn't even have to be your husband. It could be your cousin. Like,
well,
you
we
just
talk
want to
about
make
our
sure.
husbands,
Okay, okay.
and but I mean, like saying the things that not we leaving him or nothing, but like just he getting on my nerves or whatever
Yeah,
he is, and you don't want to say it to him, and
yeah,
you need to be able to say it to somebody, but you want
yes,
to be able to say it to a good girlfriend, a good friend who is not going to be like, well, remember you said he did, and remember,
mm-hmm,
and it's not about mistreatment or nothing like that, but it's just the things that happen in a relationship sometimes
yeah,
that can be frustrating or just get on your nerves.
yeah,
That's just how some relationships are, and you want to be able to share, you need to be able to share that with a safe person who's not going to bring it up again unless it's in jest, and who's not going to make you feel like, oh well, girl, that means he don't love you, or y'all shouldn't be married. You know how there's just a lot of
yeah,
drama that can happen in a relationship when you have to be and when you want feel like you have to be so close off for every part of your life, right? So we talked about compartmentalizing, but sometimes you need to be able to share the good and the not so good with a friend who has your best interest at heart,
yeah,
is going to be keeping you in mind when they pray. Like you said, they're going to call you to the carpet if they need to. If they see, all right, now you shouldn't talk to that man like that,
yeah,
or look, you maybe you are doing
yeah,
too much with work,
yeah,
and it could be helpful for you to kind of take a pause a little bit. I have friends who tell me no.
mm-hmm,
I say, let's do this. Or if it looks like I'm doing too much, they will tell me, no, stop, don't, you're doing too much. And even more recently, I've had a friend who has said to me, I when there was some distance just in how frequent we spoke. She was like, "Listen, me and God had to do some things. Like I need to be dependent on Him, and I needed to be more focused or more intentional about my time with my family. And that doesn't mean I don't love you or my friends. It just means me and God got to work some things out because I think too sometimes we can be may become over we can rely on our friends more than we should.
Mm-hmm.
We find ourselves going to them before we go to God, right? So that's another piece of the puzzle too. And so I value that friendship so much, and that was just another moment for me to see that, oh yeah, this is what real friendship can be about. You can say the hard things, you can say the uncomfortable things, and our
Yeah.
friendship is great and
Yeah.
a lot stronger too because she also gave me permission if I'm ever in the same boat that I can come to her and say the same thing without worrying about whether or not she's not going to want to be my friend anymore or she's going to be feeling a type of way. The biggest
Yeah.
piece was we communicated.
Yeah.
She didn't just ghost me. She didn't just, make me, because, we talked about the one sided conversations.
Yeah.
I didn't have to do that because she said to me, hey, look, I just need a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And I prayed for her while we spent that time doing our own thing. And I think it's important for listeners to know that if you've already, or because you've already consulted with God about the people in your life, about the women in your life who should stay and who probably shouldn't stay,
Mm-hmm.
then you're both hopefully going to get to a place where you can have the uncomfortable conversations and it's just going to eventually pull you closer together. The bond is going to be that much more stronger.
Yeah. What it sounds like you are describing is just I would say friendships that are rooted in safety
Mm-hmm.
because you're right. Like me and my girlfriends, we laugh all the time. We joke about things. We talk about relationships. We talk about, I mean, it's everything under the
That's
sun.
our thing.
TV shows like clothing, you and I just had this long discussion about groceries, all of those things. Like
We did.
we are down for the shenanigans. Our conversation truly went from literally, y'all, 15 minutes before this, we went from talking about a Bible study to talking about a devotional to talking about reality TV to
Yep.
grocery bills, but all of those things
Right.
existed in that total of 15-minute conversation. But what I realized the most is we both felt safe enough to have those various conversations. But then if there is a moment that you have to challenge me, even if I'm coming with the shenanigans, I'm gonna be open to it because I know you're coming from a place of like concern. You care for me, you love me, so you're gonna pull me in. So, to summarize all of that, what we're saying is yes, you have relationships that you want to share and that you want to, show up as the best version of yourself and you want them to challenge you and y'all want to kiki and have a good time. It is absolutely nothing wrong with that. We love that. And it is just okay for you to have friendships to say, like, all right, girl, we gonna laugh for about 20 minutes. Then I'm gonna say, no, Crystal, you know that was shady. You know
Right.
you had no
Let's
business
get to
doing
business
that.
because we've been talking about this other random stuff for too long, and we
Yes.
have we have business that we have to take care of.
Yes.
Because I know for me, avoidance and procrastination is 100% of the time my coping strategy.
Same.
I
Same.
freeze. And
Yeah.
that's how it shows up as procrastination. And
Yeah.
so I rely on my friends who can say, if I told you this is what we're going to do, or this is what I
Mm-hmm.
need to do, this is what's important. I rely on some friends to be able to say, all right, now remember we said
Yeah.
date and time, or by this month or whatever, this is what we said we were going to do, or this is how we said we were going to handle business. That
Yeah.
is really important to me. I'm no longer afraid that if I change, my friends are going to leave me.
Mm.
If I have boundaries, my friendships are going to end. I'm not afraid of that because I have been really intentional about the friendship that I nurture and grow. I have met a lot of women on social media, just in DMs since the pandemic because the pandemic kind of forced me to work from home and I was seeing clients in person before that.
Mm.
So I built up the courage at the time. I thank God because I didn't know what I was doing. I had never done this before, but the joke is with my current friends, like I was sliding in DMs. Women who we had similarities, some live here, some didn't. But I had to, put myself out there to make friendships because otherwise, like I don't have a break room to go to and talk to
Yeah. Yeah.
people to go to lunch with, every day like I did when
Right.
I worked in the office. And so
Yeah.
some of those friendships were long lasting, and some of those friendships only lasted for a period of time during those,
Yeah.
months or well year that we were
Yeah.
all home. And I'm still grateful for those friendships.
Yeah.
And I also, I do know too during that time, although I didn't share all of the things with those ladies, we shared with each other what we needed to. We were there for each
Hmm.
other the way we needed to be for that time.
Hmm.
So even that, the way I have grown during that time helped me to see, like, even if a friendship has to end, it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily grieve every friendship like it was a death because I
Right.
know it was what it was supposed to be for the
For
time.
that time.
So that
Yeah.
type of support, I think the younger me would have been surprised. Like, there is no way you would have been okay with a friendship ending, but or a
Yeah.
relationship ending. But yeah, no, we're
Yeah.
good. And if
Yeah.
I see those women, I'm still going to support them. I know they're still going to have my back. I think about from time to time. I drop a little quick prayer,
Yeah.
a longer one, depending on what comes up in my heart. Or sometimes I may shoot a text, hey, just thinking about you. And it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be a big thing.
Yeah. No, that's true, but more than anything, it feels like you are also in the space in well, you were in that space in life and you're currently in that space just like I am where we're not allowing our fear of rejection to stop us from actually cultivating real authentic
Yep.
relationships.
Yes.
Like we are truly allowing ourselves to like step out there, connect with someone, share with the people that you already have in your life, and don't have those thoughts of, well, if I tell this person no, then they're going to completely stop talking to me. They're not going to allow me to come to it, or they're not going to ask me to come to any other event. They're going to completely dismiss me. They're going to say that we're not friends. They're not going to understand me. They're not going to know how to adjust.
Right.
What we're realizing is that healthy friendships will allow you the space to adjust. It will allow you the space to change. There will be no ill will or no bad feelings. It's just like it is okay for you to do exactly what you need to do. And I'm going to be there to support you.
Yes, I agree 100%. The most healthy friendships I have, um, are some of them, the women are significantly older than me.
Mm-hmm.
And I often laugh because I think, again, thinking back to younger me, I'm like, there's no way I'd be friends with someone 15, 20 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's really not that old now.
Yeah.
I think about it, and I
Yeah.
think about the wisdom that comes from those friendships and the way they have pushed me. Well, some of them shoved me, but they pushed me to grow. But in those friendships,
Yeah.
I've learned how to communicate better. I've learned how to not just shut down because I
Yeah.
will get the text with the little eyes like, "Hey, now this is
Yeah.
that." I've
Mm-hmm.
learned how to not assume so much or have those one-sided conversations. Even if I do, even the times I've done, have had a one-sided conversation, it just didn't last as long. And
Mm.
they remind me to that everything is not about me. Some
Mm-hmm.
things are just life happening.
Yeah.
And I know that the distance or the time doesn't have to mean our friendship is fractured as long as
Right.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
safe in the relationship. And now this is not us saying that we have all these perfect friendships and
No.
none of us ever make mistakes or anything like that. But it is a way for us to kind of challenge you all to think about who are the people that I'm trusting with my time, with
Mm.
my energy, to be a part of my world, to be a part. If you have children, or if you're married, or if you're taking care of an aging parent, if this is someone you're sharing your life with, parts of your life with. Do you
Mm-hmm.
feel safe enough in the relationship to say, hey, this is what I'm concerned about, or I need a break,
Yeah.
or no, I can't go on this trip with you because my money looking funny, or
Yeah.
I don't like how I felt when you said this, or I don't like the
Mm-hmm.
fact that it's been so long that we've talked. Whatever the concern is, are these friendships that you can do those things in?
Yeah.
Be your true self,
Yeah.
not your perfect self, but the most true
That's
version of yourself.
That's the thing. And to add on to that, I feel like another layer to this whole conversation is the things that you, again, we've said this before, but the safety that you are looking for in relationships with friends, are you actually showing up to provide a level of safety too? Are
Mhm.
you allowing your friends to grow just as much as you want them to allow you to grow? Are you emotionally mature enough to say, I'm sorry? Are you, I mean, even
Yeah.
what we talked about, procrastination or just like for me, avoidance, shutting down, I will shut down. Like that has been something that I've been working on. Like when things bother me, I can't just shut down and keep it moving. Like that's not healthy for me. That's not healthy for the friendship. So how can I actually grow in a space of like, hey, this is how this made me feel. I'm trying so hard not to shut down, but I just don't know how to communicate my feelings right now. And that's typically what it is for me. I shut down because I don't know how to communicate what I'm feeling because I haven't fully processed it yet, but I don't share that. And so recently I was put in a situation where I had to say, like, hey, I promise you, I'm not running away. I'm not shutting down. I just need a few days just to think about what just happened. It wasn't even a big deal. It was just something that rubbed me the wrong way. And it rubbed me the wrong way because it was the truth. And I wasn't ready to,
Yeah.
I
Right.
wasn't ready to hear the truth. And it was like, okay, let me process this for a little bit. And when I did, I had to go back and say, number one, I apologize because the way that I came off in the conversation, I was very defensive. I did not give you the opportunity to share how you felt. I just felt like you were attacking me, and that's the opposite of what you were trying to do. So, learning
Right.
how to apologize, learning how not to shut down, but then also learning what it means to create safety for a friend who's trying to tell me something that's on their heart too.
Right. Because who wants to be the friend that nobody can tell you nothing?
Yeah.
I do not want,
Yeah.
I don't want, if I have ever been that way, y'all, I'm sorry.
Same. I apologize.
Oh, I'm glad y'all still love me.
I'm glad you're allowing me to grow
Yes.
and learn more
Yeah.
about myself through this. And you're giving me another opportunity to be a better friend.
Oh, yes. My closest friends, I mean, my daughter, she refers to them as her aunts. Like those, they are the sisters that I chose. And I love my sisters, my biological sisters. They know I do. And
Hmm.
I'm grateful that God has put women in my life who are like sisters to me, to have people who, because I know a lot of people who have sisters and they're not friends with their sisters.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine that,
Yeah.
but I know that's the reality for a lot of people. So I am so grateful to have women who I chose, and who choose me too, even with all my quirks and all
Hmm.
the things, and even like you shared about the conversations we texting, and we got a chat in TikTok, and we got a chat in Instagram, same friends, but
Yeah.
we're communicating so
Yes.
many platforms all day long as a way to just stay connected with each other, as a
Hmm.
way to encourage each other, as a way to laugh. If
Yeah.
someone was looking at the text thread, they would be like, "What in the world?"
Yeah.
But it works.
Yes.
It works for us, and I'm grateful for that, because I think when I think about the friendships, even when I think about the friendships my mom has, I know my mom is a good friend from the way she's modeled friendship to me and the things her friends have said about her, and the way I watch how they show up and support her. I still can't help but smile and think about, well, dang, they didn't even have access to half of the stuff that we have access to. So I could only imagine the stuff they probably got into, because they had to really on purpose
Yeah.
like take the time to visit each other and make
Yeah.
phone calls and
Yeah.
all of those things. And that's really important. So it's important to me too. For my daughter refers to my friends as aunts, but it's important for to me for her to know, like, no, these women are my friends,
Yeah.
and this is why we are
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
Not because they get you stuff on your birthday and come to your recitals and all the things. That's good too, because that's what friends and family do. But this is how I decided that I want them to be a
Hmm.
part of our life. She's an only, so I have to be really intentional about the relationships we have, because, well, so for some of the reasons we'll get into another time, but I have to. And I have one friend who said to me, she was like, we have a good relationship, but your baby needs to know she got people too, just outside of you and her dad. We are her people too. So don't not tell us about what's going on with her because you think we too busy, or
Hmm.
whatever the story I was telling myself about what,
Hmm. Yeah.
don't, she said, don't do that to us. Let us know what's going on with her so she can see us showing up for you and showing up for her too. And
Yeah.
that meant the world to me because I really was telling myself all these stories about
Yeah.
why I, like, I'm not going to invite them to another whatever because they busy or they
Hmm.
are already tired. Yeah, that's true, but people will make time for what they want to make time for. And
Yeah.
those kind of friendships are ones that I'm going to always, always cherish.
Yeah, yeah. I think something we should maybe just briefly discuss is the this idea of a lot of times, and this can be for anyone who's listening, or even if you know of someone where you compare relationships on social media to what you think you should be experiencing in life.
Mhm.
And that looks like, oh, I see these girls going on girls' trips. I see them going to each other's kids, events, or going traveling 6+ hours to see each other. And then you think like that is the standard or the perfect example of a relationship. And the reason why we're having this conversation today, because we want you to see healthy relationships can exist in many different dynamics. It's not a one size fits all. So even when we're like, think back to the relationships that you can show up as your true, authentic self in. Think about the relationships where you feel safe. It doesn't have to look a specific way. You get to define safety. You get to define what it looks like for you to be your authentic self in those relationships. And it should not be compared to what you seeing online because you don't know the ins and outs of that relationship.
You don't. Y'all, I have some of my relationships. We have not met. Felicia and I have not met in
We
person.
have not.
And I have another friendship. We have not met in person yet. And we've been friends since 2020.
Mm,
And just life. However, we don't play about our friendship.
mm-mm,
There are times for um praying, there are times
mhm.
for doing devotions, there are times for just having girl chats, there are times for, hey girl, it's been too long.
Yeah.
We decide what too long looks like, right?
Yes.
And there's been seasons in the friendship where we're able to talk every day, several times a day. And then there's seasons where we only are able to talk once a week. And heck, that's been the same for my friends who live in the same city as me. And that's part, knowing that is part of why, how we decided on purpose to nurture the friendship or to
Hmm.
stay friends, for lack of a better
Hmm.
phrase. Because we could at any point say, you know what, I don't want to do this no more.
Right.
What are we doing?
Right.
That might sound
Right.
wild to some people, but because I know why we
Hmm.
need to be friends, if I'm honest,
Hmm.
why this friendship is divine, why I
Yeah.
know God decided that these women need to be in my life. I'm not gonna do anything that is going to
Hmm.
damage the friendship. I'm
Hmm.
just not. Now, do we need to figure out how to get connected in person? Of course, but
Yeah.
that's small considering what the friendship brings. Coming together in real life is just really going to, I think, kind of just be like the cherry on top
Hmm.
of the ice cream sundae.
Yes.
Everything else is the sundae, right?
Yes.
And whipped cream too. but the coming together in real life is just going to, and add to it. I think if we can, if our listeners can hear what we're saying too, or the heart of what we're trying to say too is, even if the friendship looks unorthodox, even if the friendship was, created or grown out of something that was, something you didn't even consider, when you take a chance and have the courage to ask
Hmm.
God to let His will be done, because I know a lot of women probably are thinking like, well, I just want one good friend,
Yeah. Yeah.
just one person that I can rely on or depend on. Y'all, you can trust God with that prayer too. It's not too small to ask God to send you someone who can be a trusted friend. It's not too small to ask God to send you someone that you could do life with, not
Hmm.
necessarily a romantic part. That's not necessarily a romantic
Yes.
partner. That's not that's not too small to ask
Hmm.
God for. He's concerned about everything that we are concerned about. Align your prayers with what His will is for you. God, whoever the person is, wherever they are,
Hmm.
send them to fix it so that I can connect with them, and so that this woman, this person can pour into me, and I can continue to grow into the woman you created me to be, as opposed to the no new friends
Oh, yeah.
and holding on to friends that you've had forever and
Yeah.
they are not enriching your life.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay.
Ecclesiastes 4 and 9 says, two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, one will lift up his companion. I know even the first time I read that scripture, I think I just assumed, um, I didn't think about friendship. I think I probably thought more.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever considered it in that aspect.
Yeah. So when you do sit with it, you can see something a little bit deeper. This passage does describe the kind of friendship that is God designed, or what I would call divine, right? A friendship that if I feel like I'm falling, even just emotionally, I feel like I just can't. Then that friend is going to lift me up. They're going to send a prayer, and they might not even know why they're sending me a prayer
Hmm.
or why they're praying for me. Someone who is going to be my strength, someone who is going to support me instead of shaming me, somebody who, Felicia and I have gone through a lot of things personally, and
Hmm.
our families have gone through things. And I know she's praying for me when we're not talking, and I'm doing the same for her. There's no competition. We're not criticizing each other. We ain't keeping score. Who call each other the most?
Nope.
Who we're just we're not. And so even when I read the scripture, when I think about, oh, well, this podcast is a labor of love for both of us. And it's work. We know the reward. We may not see till we get to heaven.
Hmm.
That's fine. No, but seriously, that's fine. We're doing it because we know this is what God needs us to do right now. And some of it don't even make a whole lot of sense yet. And I know it will in,
Yeah.
in due time. But I also know that if I fall, or even if I fail in some ways, she's going to have my back. And that's what this scripture is helping to remind me of. So she is my friend. She's my companion. Y'all, even having a spouse, right? Yes, my husband is my friend and my life partner and my companion and all the things. But there's just some things that I need a girlfriend for.
Agreed. Yeah.
I don't think I don't even want my husband to have that much responsibility to
Yeah.
like be my everything. Like
No one person should. No one person, no one friend.
it's too
Yes, I
much.
agree. It's
Too
too
much.
much.
No, and I believe with my whole heart that healthy friendships is just another way that God shows how much He loves us when He trusts me to give me good friends.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to be doing life alone. If
Yeah.
that everyone's, I know that some people, that is their story. They feel alone in a lot of ways. But
Yeah.
I want to challenge our listeners to ask God to send them the right people, the right friends. Whether it's somebody you meet at the grocery store, it doesn't matter. I'm asking God. I want y'all to think about
Yeah.
asking God, and I'm going to pray too, that God will soften your heart too. If
Hmm.
you are in the presence of someone and you kind of been feeling a nudge, like, you know what, just call them, or, reach out to that person. um, that your heart will be softened, that you can, apologize if you're the one who needs to apologize. Reach out if you're one who needs to who needs to reach out first, and ask for what you need, and that way you can grow and continue to be the woman God wants you to be.
Yes, agreed. So, of course, you all know we love to leave you with some little fuel for the road ahead. So, we just have a few things that we want you to consider. And we have mentioned this throughout the episode, but we thought it would be helpful to share it with you again. So, we want you to ask yourself, are you the kind of friend who makes it safe for others to grow? When a friend's capacity shifts, do you adjust or do you take it personally? That one is one
Mhm.
that we all can process a little bit deeper because we know that when things change for others and the relationship dynamic change, the time, the distance, all of the things that we've mentioned before, we start to take it personally and say, well,
Right.
they don't want to show up for me anymore. That like have you done a gut check to say like am I taking things personally and am I the safe space for this friend to share all of the changes and the things that they are going through in their lives, because we want you to remember safe relationship or safe friendships, I'll say, and relationships require safety on both sides.
Yep. That's all I gotta say about that. Yep. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So your friendship is not just about the history between you two.
Hmm.
That is important. It is. But it's about how people grow with you. The right friendships, they stretch you, they challenge you. Yeah, you're
Hmm.
gonna have to adjust. And sometimes the most beautiful friendships are the ones that survive honest conversation. I am a witness to that. I have literally experienced that just in this year alone. Well, it's 2026, but yeah, once this year and last year, those honest conversations, they did nothing but strengthen our friendships. And I feel like we could just go 10, 20 more years and
Hmm.
we're going to be good as long as we know we can be vulnerable with one another. So, who are you in your friendships?
Hmm.
Who in your life has shown you that healthy friendships, they matter, that they are so valuable, that they are
Hmm.
so precious and they are to be cherished? Who are you thinking about while we're asking these questions, while we're having this conversation? And most importantly, are you showing up for someone else in the same way? Whatever you are expecting of other people, are you showing up in the same way?
Yes. Well, we thank you all so much for listening to this episode. If you are starting here, we will encourage you to go back to episode 5 and 6 so you can hear like this 3-part series on friendships. If you are watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe to the channel, share this with one of your friends or a loved one in your life. We also love for you to leave us some reviews on whatever streaming platform you use if you're listening on audio, whether that is Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts. We also love to hear reviews there. We like to know if this is helpful for you all or what you're interested in hearing. If you haven't done so yet, please make sure that you join our email list. We'll have all of this information in the show notes. But again, we thank you. We love you all. And we want you to go and tell a friend how you feel about them today. Just say, hey, girl, hey, sis, I'm thinking about you. I love you. Just wanted to stop in. But we will check in with you all next time. Bye.
All right, y'all. Peace.